working with her. If there's any reports, are there any reports?
A curve, it's in your face again. Oh yeah, every time you turn a curve, the wind.
Roll call, I think the only
Mike
person
is the
missing
only
is
one.
Is Mike.
Mhm.
So, if we had our packets, we would have the minutes, so I guess we'll have to come back to that. Yeah, we'll come back to that. And go ahead and skip to, reports on any funding events.
I will do on behalf of the City of College's Half Marathon. And so their event was early this month. I don't see it written on here. They said, we'd like to thank you and the Conway CVB for your continued support of the 2025 City of College's Half Marathon, 10K, 5K, and Fun Run. Your partnership remains vital to the success and continued growth of this event. They had some scheduling challenges. They had to move from their original date in November to late October, resulting in overlap with some other major running events outside of Conway. But they were still pleased to see an increase in total participation over 2024. They had 553 participants, 356 were outside the local zip codes, 55% female, 45% male. Age demographics, under 18 was 6%, 18 to 29 was 28%, 30 to 39 was 25%. And they really like to focus in the under 40 demographic, so that was over 50% of their participants. And then ages 40 to 49, 16%, 50 to 64, 18%, and over 65, 7%. They had 12 states represented, including Arkansas, with runners from Texas, Tennessee, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Missouri, Mississippi, Wisconsin, Florida, New Jersey, North Carolina, and Kentucky. They had a marketing campaign focused on regional and out-of-state awareness through a consistent multi-channel strategy. They ran print ads in Oklahoma Sports and Fitness Magazine, 14 monthly e-newsletters reaching 307,000 active runners, and 10 All Sports Productions newsletters, that's their company, featuring the City of College's content distributed to 445,000 active contacts. Including an 8-month social media campaign, attending other marathon expos, 2,500 postcards, and outside Arkansas quarterly advertising. So they said they had 16 events in 2025, 5 of them in Central Arkansas, 18 days of competition, 12,500 participants, and 20,000 spectators. That's total for their brand, not our race specifically. And their current media reach, social media has 77,000 followers with 7.5 million annual impressions and an email marketing database of 79,000 active subscribers. So I'll give each of you a copy of this that he sent me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Financials are coming. We had a couple A&P people over there clogging up the door and having to take them off the delinquent list and all that kind of stuff as usual. But they should be here any minute now.
Do we have any other funding events?
I think that was it.
Okay. So we will, yeah, we'll skip the financial information and go to,
I can go ahead and
Do your
talk about
report.
my normal report.
okay.
Okay. So over the past month, I was busy putting together the funding applications, reviewing those to make them easier for you all to review.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I believe we had like 55 different applications this year, so that's pretty standard, but I think it was a little bit more than last year, which I feel good about. Anytime, people are aware that they can get money to help with their event locally, then I think that's a good thing. I gave you all a copy of the September STAR report. I know last month we saw a pretty big increase in hotel collections for this month. So I just wanted to give you this so you had it on hand so you could kind of see what I saw, which was there was an increase, but it didn't seem to show as drastic of an increase as I would have expected based on the collections. So that's probably just something we need to look into. But if the top row is the occupancy percent, which was up 1.1% over last September. And the average daily rate was up 7.1% over last September. So it was about a $7 difference per room. I also, several months ago, we partnered with Arkansas Tourism via CJRW, their advertising agency, to do an influencer campaign. And there was a family that came to Conway called the Drews. CJRW coordinated all of that with them. And they came and filmed content in Conway. They focused on mountain biking and dining and shopping in downtown. So they sent a campaign performance overview, which is super helpful. They created one Instagram reel, 17 Instagram stories. They received 10,225 total impressions, 185 total engagement. So that's people commenting on it, liking it, whatever, and had a 1.09% engagement rate, which is pretty good. They have 14.6 thousand Instagram followers, 14,600. And so they just basically sent copies of the stuff that they did, which we were able to then reshare. It was all really pretty. Here's just some clips of it. I don't know if any of you saw it on social media, but I thought they did a great job, and it was exactly what I had asked them to do. Mountain biking, street side creperie, rogue roundabout, some cookies and coffee, MLK Park. So they kind of hit on a bunch of really cool places. And I felt like it was a successful campaign. And when we partner with Arkansas Tourism like that, then we get deeply discounted content as opposed to if we'd just worked with them directly without CJR or without Arkansas Tourism being involved. Let's see. I also had some holiday content created for a digital campaign that we run through a company called Multiview. They're just a national digital ad agency. And then I had a first meeting with a group called Make Music Day. And so this started in Europe, and it is an organization that basically promotes live music within the community. So the cost is only $350 to participate. So there's a very low barrier of entry. And then they set up a website that will have ways for local musicians to connect with local venues. So the idea is that if Sheila's grandson plays the guitar, well, then he could talk to Joe's barber shop and Joe could say, I'll allow you to play outside of my store today for 2 hours between this time and this time. And then your grandson would just go play his guitar outside. And the thought is that people will do that all over town and you don't have to be a professional musician. But then we would also have a database of local musicians
Right.
and then all of these people willing to let them play at their office or whatever, their business. So I thought it was cool. It's a growing movement. There are a couple of other Arkansas cities that are interested. It takes place in June. So I think that we'll probably partner with Create Conway on that to help get some of it together. But we'll see. Like I said, we just had an initial meeting a couple weeks ago. At our,
No, downtown Kim and I did this about 17
I did not.
downtown.
I will. I will.
Used to be one outside Mike's place, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were several people out of Palmer's place.
Uh-huh.
That play and would.
Well, we had talked about getting with Preston Palmer and having some of his students participate and it also, especially for young performers, it gives them a way to perform live for, you know, potentially a small audience with kind of low pressure. So I think it would be cool. Let's see, what else?
Loose marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be neat. And like I said, it's $350, which seems crazy. I'm like, why charge anything? And then they put together this website that we could work from. So I think it could be cool. And in our last meeting, we had talked about the A&P statute and bylaws that you all operate by. And so I'd emailed those to all of you. So if you have any questions, I hope I could answer them.
I got them printed, but I hadn't read them yet.
That's fine. If you come up with questions, you just ask me anytime.
All right, we're gonna backtrack up for just a moment and look at the minutes from the last meeting. Could have a motion to approve,
Second.
the first and a second. All right, I think we're
Ready
to
for
your
me?
part.
All right. Sorry, the packets may be a little out of whack. We had, like I said, we had to move and shift at the very last minute. So these people have caught on to getting paid before the day of the meeting, but supposed to be before the meeting, but anyway. Yes. Sorry for the delay. Okay. With the balance sheet, we have, which we had a little, I said in the email, we had an issue with getting the 1145 account bank statement. I did get it this morning. And they're gonna look into why we cannot access it yet. They're not really sure. But I was even in communication with Denise Friday and trying to everybody, I tried to see if anybody had access to it except for me, and nobody has access to it yet. So, anyway, we got it. The Centennial operating account balance, the old operating was 460,893.43. The new operating account, 1145, is 162,761. And then the collections account, ending in 7271, is 1,380,794.30. And the balance on the CD as of October 31st is 517,725.57.
Just a quick question, Jill.
Yes, ma'am.
The, I guess, old operating account is the best way to put it is, I mean, it seems like there's quite a bit of money in there. Is there any particular reason why we're just leaving that and not putting those funds into the new account?
No, we only left enough money in that account to cover the outstanding checks, which there's only
Okay.
still 2 remaining. I need to get you on that, Rachel, but Denise didn't have any knowledge of the new account number, so she deposited the last 2 months'
Okay.
checks in there. We're gonna move it.
Okay. Right. Okay, great, thanks. Thank you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. That's a very valid question. I asked the same thing. So if you flip to the 3rd page, it shows we're negative $377,027.50 in the red because we had to write 2 checks from our meeting delays, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, that's $886,417.76 allocation to the city. So we're up over last year. This month was 55,423.16. Year to date, we're at 603,964.03. As of last year to this date, we were at 588,451.25. And then the supporting documentation is not in order, but I'm gonna have to send y'all a revised copy of these financials because I don't know what happened in here, but it's got a bad copy. So you won't see a check register behind the 7873 account because there's no, there was no checks written currently. There's the 2 still outstanding. Does anybody have any questions? Are the collections financials? Long pieces of paper. First 2 pages are just calculations for the city and for A&P. If you go to the 3rd page, our collections for October 2025 were 566,508.34. Back in trend, kind of with the previous months, whereas last month was extra a lot for, I'm still not sure of the reason, but these are September payments in October, so it would make sense because September, late August, September is when all the kids went back to school, so they're not traveling, they're not doing anything like that, but it's $520,012.42 in prepared foods and $46,495.92 in hotel. STR motel. And we're up over last year by, no, down. I don't know why it's on a negative. Over last year by $24,430.28. And yes, we were up over last year, this time by $24,430.28, and up over 2023 by $37,902.11. Our year-to-date collections, as you'll see calculated at the bottom, so far have been $5,145,864.05. Like I said, last year by 4.51%, of over October 2023 by 6.99%. Now, the collective totals for the year, we're down from the last 2 years, but figures for October 2025 were over. And the next page is the past due collections. We had $20,999.89 in prepared food delinquent collections and $1,230.86 in past due hotel collections, which totaled $22,230.75, which is 4.10% of total collections. Up over last year. October of last year, our delinquent collections only consisted of 1.62% of our total collections. And year-to-date, past due collections, the line below is $181,599.52. So we're doing something right. Next page. Collections excluding delinquents were $544,277.59, which was $499,012.53 in prepared foods and $45,265.06 in hotel. And year to date, we are at $3,923,279.22. Which the current month over last year, October 2024, we're over that last year at this time by $11,369.46. And then we have the last page, Andy's favorite page, which I'm pretty sure we have a record this month, Andy.
Oh,
We have a total of $302,138.35 in Pay Simple online payment collections, which were 55.74% of total collections. Close to record high. We have that 56 in there, but. And that consisted of $268,732.06 in prepared foods and $33,406.29 in hotels. To-date accumulation of $2,120,102.97. And this month is up over last month of October 2024 by $48,248.91. And our Pay Simple collections consisted of 306 prepared food payments and 74 hotels. Do I have any questions? I know the numbers look significantly skewed from last month, but last month was also an anomaly for some reason.
Anybody have any questions?
We ever figure out where that came from last month? That's just a,
It's very huge. We had a lot of events, and it was the month before, because that was, so we were reporting August collections last month. I mean, that was right as kids were going back to school, before they went back to school, maybe taking vacations before. I mean, and Melissa said prices have increased and
We'll take it.
Whatever works.
we can have it audited if y'all want to.
Do we go over the delinquent taxes before we approve financials?
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the financials.
second.
Okay, the delinquent list doesn't look too much different than last month. We've added one, and we took 2 months away from R&M Southern Eatery. Posted proper, which I think we were gonna bring up today.
So R&M paid 2 months?
Yes.
What, I'm sorry?
R&M paid 2 months?
Yes,
Is
they
that correct?
pay July and August. I guess they just think that May and June don't count or something, I don't know, and they haven't paid the current month.
Did they come in person or just mail it in?
They had problems paying it online because they were entering an incorrect bank account, and so their account got locked. I had to unlock it. I had to call and get it unlocked 2 times, and they were like, "What do we need to do? This is our correct account information." I said, "I cannot verify that. I only see the last 4 of your account number, but I would suggest you pay with a debit card or a credit card or something, and reimburse that way if it'll help your payments go through, because I've unlocked them like 2 or 3 times." But at one point I wasn't so sure that it wasn't on purpose, but because when somebody bounces a payment or they enter incorrect information or try to make so many payments in a short amount of time, then it will lock their account. They go on the known bad list, which has been a pain in everything as far as Pay Simple goes.
Well, because that just sticks them right back to,
Exactly.
I mean, that didn't help them any at all, really,
No.
because
No.
they have 2 months prior still.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the same with, let's go with permit number 1104. They paid August. Sometimes this happens when they get served. They think they're only behind for 1 month. The Li Jiang, 2395 Meadow Lake is an STR, but he also owns, Mighty Crab. And he called after he got served, and he said, "Well, in my short-term rental or my place that I rent, I don't sell food." And I said, "Well, A&P is hotel, motel, short-term rentals, and prepared foods and fountain drinks." And he said, "Okay, well, I paid those. I'll bring you receipts." Well, he brought me receipts for Mighty Crab. So.
Hmm.
Well,
I have no idea. I wish I could make some of this stuff up.
well, I was going down the road the other day, and guess who was in front of me? I don't know if that's the number she gives you or not, but
She supposedly was closing down as of, I think she emailed Denise and them and me, maybe.
this was Thursday morning.
Yeah, I know she's not closed down. I think she just says she's closed down so she doesn't have, she watches these meetings, so. Okay,
Oh.
permit number 1004. And like I said, she has evaded taxes since April when we were in court in May for her. But the citation only covered through March. And like I said, I told Judge Carnahan that day that he said, is she current? And I said, she's not current as far as she still owes April. But she hasn't paid April. And he said, well, as far as the citation, is she caught up on all those months? And I said, yes, sir, she is, but she's still delinquent on April. And then that's when she went into a whole conversation, wanted a couple minutes of the judge's time to explain how much she puts into the community and police officers and judges and firemen. And Judge Carnahan just said, you know, maybe you should think about paying your taxes first. But I said, we're going to end up right back here again within 3 months, which we clearly are. And she's been telling me since court in front of the judge that she would have April paid by the end of the week. And that still has not happened. And then she hasn't paid any moving forward.
Send her a cease and desist. Like, she can't operate in the city of Conway. Have?
I don't know if we have. I know.
No, we haven't. That
Okay.
was something y'all was talking about last week about that
Mhm.
and R&M
Did for the
Eatery.
one that went to court up
Right.
through March.
Yeah,
That's- To me, that's enough where it's like, sorry.
Yeah.
You can't operate anymore until you
Mhm.
catch up. Sorry.
Mhm.
You operate
Mm-hmm.
of chances that that's it.
That's the problem
90
with
days.
court.
Any
They need
days
to
that
be-
ceased and desist, yeah.
That's why I think I need to be deputized because code enforcement only works until 4:30. A lot of these are open at nighttime only. I mean, they do everything they could humanly possibly do, but I would not mind rolling up on a couple of these people that only serve dinner to try to evade all this.
I will take it too.
I'll take it to him. Hey, we can have dinner together.
I mean, let's go.
Hey, let's all go out there as a group. I'll buy.
That's ridiculous. Not paying since April.
Yeah.
Saying you're gonna pay in April and then still
Mhm.
not continue. I mean, because they're collecting the money.
Yes.
So
Well, and she's supposedly closed, but what I've seen, she's still open. I think she just said she was closed. Anyway, she watches all these meetings, so she'll tell us anything she wants to tell us. But
well, I mean,
Like
I
Melissa
suggest
said, she
if we
just-
can do it, if I can make a motion, I don't know if that's how it works. And desist, she can't operate anymore.
Well, and that's basically ceased means you stop. So, yeah, the 30, 60, and 90, we do those routinely every meeting. So I don't quite understand the rationale of continuing to operate when you've been issued a cease and desist.
well, like I
I
said,
think if
she
there-
was
I
the
think if there's 3 months on here, then I'm like, all
Mhm.
right, you're done.
Right.
Yeah,
You catch up.
exactly.
But
Well,
it's-
and it's not fair to the people who are
We're
paying it.
doing-
exactly.
Yes.
Every
We're doing
single
it.
month.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if they do continue? I mean, can you not lock their doors to where they can't get inside?
That's what our question was previously and in the ordinance, but then there's also a resolution that I need to send y'all to that. But it says it's up to the commissioner's discretion as to act on anything further than what's written in paper.
If this were a first-time situation,
Right.
I would be looking at it one.
I would
This
too.
is not the first.
This is ongoing,
Yeah.
yes.
This is what I say about these people all the time. It's the same ones over and over and over again. It wastes y'all's time. It wastes my time. It wastes code enforcement's time. It wastes Denise and her office's time. I mean, there needs to be an extra penalty for somebody that repeatedly gets in this situation because it costs all of us time. I mean, it costs me in code enforcement time in court. It costs us time here still talking about it. But like I said, after every meeting, she's probably calling the office right now to say,
So do we
She's-
need to take a vote to lock the doors or what?
I'd say let's do that. I mean, I would.
We
say
have the authority,
if
I
we-
would say
I'll
definitely.
make a
we do
motion.
and let's do that.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Motion and second on the further discussion.
Padlock.
I will say this, as far as, well, some of you are around when we had the whole Casa Katrina ordeal. with
Mhm.
Jose, and he was doing all the stuff, and Chuck sniffed him out like I mean, y'all ended up picking him to be audited. He had like a $15,000 truck he said he sold, and then, but he couldn't prove it. And so Chuck did an installment agreement that was a legal document
Mhm.
in court that if he was ever late past the 20th ever again, he was never to own another anything that required an AMP permit. Well, he was late on his last two Costa Katrina payments, and then they opened Chivos Locos, and his name was on there. And Denise was like, "They filled it out so great," and I was like, "I recognize his signature because Chuck had me get his driver's license," and then Chuck was like, "It's expired. Tell him to go get another one, or we're gonna come get him." I mean, I got another one. I could tell his handwriting, and it was Jose again. And then once I contacted Charles, and Charles said, "Well, it seems to be the same handwriting. You know, we need to stop this." And so I did tell them. And then all of a sudden, Jose turned into Joselina.
I'd say we don't need to talk about
Yeah.
that. That's
I'm just saying that's
past.
a good example of a repeat offender and how something can be placed in the law or in the ordinance that says if you're a repeat offender, you cannot own another A&P permit or you can't operate it anymore.
Mhm.
I mean,
We have a motion and a second on the floor, Madam Chairman. Close this bit.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
for what?
Any nays?
What are we voting on now?
To put what?
Cease and desist and to,
Oh,
put
charcuterie.
yes.
No.
We already voted on that one, but
The R, ma'am, the R and M eatery,
yes,
that
sir.
was another one we was gonna discuss to, you'd already mentioned it, but they're still behind. They were on a final. And they're still behind, so.
I see 3 months in arrears. That's 90
Yes.
days.
Mm-hmm.
If we, that one, I'd say let's vote on that one too.
And I have tried extra, extra hard with her and her husband, and they've been receptive to it. They try to make more payments, and then they would be returned, or they wouldn't go through. It's been probably at least an hour's time on them within the past couple of months, just calling it and getting their account unlocked for them to try again, and it goes right back to the locked account.
Make a motion. Operation.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes.
Well, I mean, Li Jiang situation is,
I just don't have a current mailing address. I was the one that went out to the 2395 Meadow Lake, which is the Airbnb. We
Right.
weren't aware of that. And I know you mentioned something about Mighty Crab, but, I mean, if that's where we need to go to take I think it'll be the final notice because last week was, or, the
Right.
second last time. So I just need some updated information on where to mail it or who to give it to.
I
mail
can
it
get
to.
you updated information on them.
And
But
then
yeah, he's confused about
yeah.
not selling food out of his STR, so.
I went there, knocked on the door, and it was a lady from somewhere else. I just asked if, the.
At least we
chain
know
was
they're
there. It wasn't-
actively renting right now.
Yeah. And the only other thing is the Volstead Properties court date's coming up Thursday on the 13th, and we were asked for yourself, maybe one commission officer to,
Right,
it's at
that's
1
Colt.
o'clock. Mm-hmm.
Thursday is Colt Harmon's
Old Carmen,
court
Smith.
case. I think Steve is in another week or so, but Colt's will be Thursday, what,
At 1
8:30?
o'clock,
1?
1
Okay.
o'clock, Thursday, the 13th.
Do we have the final numbers to present to the judge on that?
Well, yeah, they're the numbers that you're looking at right here. I mean,
But aren't these just guesstimates?
they're estimates based on the last 3 months' payments that they made.
Will the judge accept that?
I have asked for reports, and I've asked for reports. I have asked for reports. I even have a recording on my phone of, I didn't tell him first though that I was recording him, which I should have, but of him acknowledging that he hadn't made all these payments and he's not going to make the payments. But then he had a conversation with Denise and he was going to try to figure out something because he's still the one that says he has an open ticket with Davo for his beverage taxes, and he swears his beverage taxes were sent to the state. I agree, but he told me when in that phone call, he said, if y'all want your tax, file the amended returns and get with the state yourself. And I said, it's not a problem. He said, well, then all you'll get is the last 2 months that we were open, beverage and A&P. And
What will the judge do if he doesn't accept that? Doesn't accept that. What is our next? Doesn't accept that we don't have the exact numbers for what he did. Force Colt to give us his exact numbers.
hopefully,
So that's what we need to do, right, is go with these numbers and say, this is what you owe us that are less than this, which are fine. We don't care. We just want exact numbers and owe us what you taken. That should be it, right? Like, I mean, would the judge say, I've never been through one of these, so I don't know. Like, but what does the judge usually do in these situations whenever we don't have exact numbers? Make them open their books and show it?
it doesn't usually get to that point because,
I
Court-
don't
I've
have
never
any
been.
idea.
yeah, court.
I've never been on anything in front of the judge for something like that, so I wouldn't know.
Always Carnahan,
It could be him or the other one, which now it's Judge Hogue too, so.
is you?
Hogue,
Oh.
he's the new one that got. I guess the only
That's
thing
where
I'd
I
like,
think it'd be beneficial, and code enforcement agrees, I believe, with anyone who can show from the A&P Commission shows to see how these things go, because the city doesn't understand what this is.
So the next court appearance is,
Thursday at
Thursday the
at
13th,
1
1 o'clock.
for Cult
I
I
Farm.
will be there.
plan, yeah,
I'll be there
okay.
at 1 for Cult.
And I know that, I think Evan is doing the case, so he'll
Yes.
probably get with y'all prior to it, just to kind of discuss some things or whatnot, and so that when y'all get up there to testify
Because
or whatever.
judges don't understand A&P, so we'll sit there for hours and then, I
Yeah,
mean,
sometimes,
I-
right.
do
I guess
it.
the only thing I'd like to add is if there's any new information you can give us on the addresses, who that, like for the lead chain, who you can, something
Yes, sir.
for,
I'll
so
get
that
it to
Kim
you
can
today.
have that, and
Mhm.
there was one other one, the Portis, I might be saying that wrong. Are they were on a second notice as
Permit
well.
1104,
Uh,
a poop, I don't even want to say it. I don't know how to say it.
yeah, yes, ma'am,
Bus, poop,
I believe,
That
pupusas.
means-
sorry.
It's a,
But I also think she was having problems with that, trying to find, the right. Those are the only few, the two that you voted on, Charcuterie and Moore and R&M, and then now just getting some information for lead chain and one I just spoke of to get the right information to send to them.
right,
Sorry, one more question from standpoint. Is our city attorney involved in any of this? Or is he supposed to be?
he's
I would think
100%
so.
supposed to be.
Well,
Why
Evan,
isn't he here at these meetings?
I can't answer that for you, sir.
Andy's even tried, I've tried.
I would really like to understand, like, because none of us are.
If I'm not
attorneys.
mistaken, I
It's
think
not
Andy
you.
said that last meeting you'd like for someone to be here.
I
to
wish
be
he would have
able
been
to-
around when Chuck was city attorney. He
Nobody
was
here-
present and right up
Yes,
front at every
nobody here
meeting.
is an attorney, so like, we don't know the answers to these, and so it delays everything a month, because then we wait and we find out an
Mhm.
answer, and then we wait a month. I don't understand.
That's the problem.
Every one of these meetings until we have none of this, like, till this sheet is empty, he should be here. Until we,
I
or if
agree.
they're a month, two, we don't have to do any legal actions, but we obviously have 2 or 3 here that like are way off, months, so it makes no sense that we don't have somebody from a legal standpoint here
And that's how they,
telling us what to do next.
that's how they end up being this far behind, because we can't get anything done in court or through our city attorney, but I mean, I think Evan's on this posted proper, the Colt Harmon case, and
I need to come to a council meeting and suggest that we have an A and P,
Our
like somebody.
city, our city attorney is an elected official. That's all I'll say. He doesn't serve at the pleasure of any head of any area. He's an elected official.
But his job is to help us with legal matters when it comes to money with the city, right?
I would think so.
I would think so,
That
yes.
would be a correct.
it's
Mhm.
always the case prior.
I'm happy to come to a meeting and just be like, why don't we have somebody? I mean, I'll get on the agenda and I'll just want to know why. Like, I mean, he's got people that work in his office. It's not just him. That's my thought. I feel like we're. you
Well, and
know,
he's,
things are
it's
taking
no
way
help in
too long.
court either. That's why I think if anybody can be present, that would be a great thing to show.
Okay,
Listen, you going for Thursday?
I'm gonna go
Yes.
as well Thursday.
Thursday at 1
Mhm.
o'clock.
Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, got it on my calendar.
Thank y'all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And did we vote to shut down 2 of these?
We did.
yes.
R&M and charcuterie, right?
I think so. Did
Arnhem
we,
and charcuterie.
were we clear for you that we were shutting 2 of these places until they get caught up? Are you? Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
You're good with what we've done. Thank you.
Where are we at with the two that's still in red?
Where we stay at.
I take it they're both closed.
They're both closed.
Both
So there's
closed.
just
But
nothing
we
we can
cannot
do.
get Kohana to respond to us in any shape, form, or fashion. Mailing, I think mailings get returned, I believe. Phone numbers don't work, email doesn't work.
Have these two people. Kind of like
The
Cold.
two in red.
Kind of like Cold. You said earlier, and I wanted to go back to this. You said earlier that you had document somebody specific that for anyone.
That's why I mentioned that, because there are things that y'all can vote on to be done and be part of the law. I mean,
Say would you bringing that to
Mhm.
vote that if we need?
bringing what? The case previous? Okay.
Whatever we need to do
Okay.
to make that happen, especially Cold. Adamantly said that he.
I can play y'all the.
So just a quick question, from code enforcement standpoint on what we just voted on, is there paperwork that you get from Jill's office, or how does that work as far as following through with
I
those?
believe so. If not, we can get with my director, but
Yes.
we had done one before with Blue Barn, if you remember.
Okay,
Yes.
And I was involved in that, but I wasn't up here during the proceedings
Okay.
of how everything got done, so.
okay,
I know it's
I-
not us that does it. It'll have to be,
okay. Then I would just say that we would need to move quickly with you getting your office or whoever, Jill, to code enforcement so that we can get this handled in a timely manner.
On charcuterie and R&M?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll get them, I provide them with a cease and desist, and then if we have to mail it, we do, but they do up a citation that goes
Okay.
along with it. So
Okay. Whatever the most efficient and quick way is.
Yes,
I can get it to you today,
Mm-hmm.
thanks so much.
Thank
along with
you.
the updated addresses for these other two. Thank you.
all right.
You didn't know it was gonna be this much fun, did you?
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, my mic's overseas right now.
Oh,
Oh, is he?
I could have gave him a ride.
Yeah.
That is
All right, so next we have our report, from Conway Parks and Recreation.
Good afternoon. How are you guys?
Good,
Good,
how
how
are
are
you?
I'm great. So for the month of November and December as well, it's kind of our slower time, so to speak. In the Expo Center, we do have the NAPCO company picnic. We have Enchanted there, and then at the end of this month, we have Bella Rustina. Like I said, for the fields, as you know, the weather, as it gets colder, there are minimum activity at the fields. But our gym inside will start picking up in January, February. But for this month, we are hosting the under 15, 16, 17, and 18 state soccer tournament. That is November 22nd and 23rd at our Conway Soccer Complex. We have one fast pitch tournament this month at the City of Colleges Park, and then the 21st and 22nd, we're hosting the Special Olympics, which will be held at the Don Owen Sports Complex in the City of Colleges Park. Again, November, December, we're winding down. January and February, we look to start back up hot.
All right, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Denise?
Kelsey, her assistant.
All right, so for A and P, we have 8 new A and Ps for this month.
Wow.
He had a bunch.
1 restaurant, 1 hotel that just changed ownership, 4 mobile vendors, and 2 short-term rentals.
You know, be nosy on the hotel.
It was, well, it's now Wingate Inn. It was the Motel 6.
Changing over to a Wingate. From Motel 6.
That's a
It's
different,
one by the old Walmart, isn't it?
it's a different
No, the Motel
direction.
6 is on.
Oh, no, that's the Old Hampton.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Because Motel
Oh.
6 is Skyline Inn or,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Sky Bridge, I believe is what it was before. Now they're going to do business as Wingate Inn.
Wingate by Wyndham. Okay, interesting.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
It's a proper direction.
Huh? Yeah, it is right beside Starbucks.
I thought Motel 6 was the one right there in front of the old Walmart.
No, that
what?
changed a couple
Sky-
years. That changed-
Skyline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When Hampton lost its flag, they went straight from a Hampton to Motel 6, which we were all in shock to go
Right.
drop that low. So I guess they've earned their way back up
I
a
always
little
thought
bit.
Skyline Hotel was the one that was actually on Skyline that was, it used to be the La Quinta or something, maybe? One right off of the town center?
Talking about
Was it La Quinta?
level, 2 levels.
Are you talking about the Quality Inn? Up on the hill?
Yeah.
It was originally a Comfort Inn, and then it became a Quality Inn. And then somebody just got it, and it's a Dell something, another. Something corporation, but I've never even heard of it.
Oh, I thought that was the one that changed to Skyline. Sorry, off subject.
Okay. Moving onward, new business.
Have a change of order, if you will. Jason Lemon was supposed to be here from Arkansas Accounting, and I confirmed with him on Friday, and he's not here. And I followed up with him since we've been in this meeting, but haven't heard back yet. So
Not him.
I don't have an update there. I think Gates was going to talk about the chamber contract. So let's just go through funding requests first, if that's okay with y'all.
That'll be
I do just have one quick question as it relates to the audit. I'm assuming we have paid for this audit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
For 2023, and he has requested 2024 documents, but until he presents the audit that he was paid for, then
would it be helpful if one of the commissioners reached out to him to,
I believe Andy has.
Andy has been in communication with him.
I struggle with getting him
Where's his office located?
Anybody else can do
I
it?
think it's right over here in this
Said, where's
little,
his office located? I have time.
is it not right there in that little weird building?
I don't know.
I guess I'm just concerned
pretty
that
sure
we
it's right across the
paid
street.
for a
We can all march
product
over there if
that
y'all want.
evidently has been done, but has not been presented, and then we're on hold even to do the next year.
It's been done because I sent it to you
Yes.
all a couple
Yeah.
of months ago, actually.
Like, I think we should find somebody else if he's not gonna respond. Like, I mean.
That was the whole thing with
I feel
not,
like we give a lot of people leeway in this in a lot of different ways, and I feel like we get shit on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like, maybe we
Weird.
figure it out. Like, we just move on, like, and stop
Yeah.
dealing with people.
I
So-
agree. That's why I haven't provided him with any 2024 information.
If you will get me an address, I'll be happy to
Okay.
stop by. Thank
Pretty
you.
sure, like I said, it's right across the street. We could all venture over there. Field trip.
I'll be here Thursday, won't we?
You and I will be.
I'll be
I
here
wish
all
I
day.
wish I could make it. I want to be there.
Well, let the women handle it first. We need backup, we'll give you a call.
Oh, you don't.
You're not coming to court?
I think y'all would be just fine.
I was gonna say, I don't think that we need that.
Getting the heck out the way.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll start with the larger sheet first, which is what I would refer to as just the standard funding requests. These are organizations, nonprofits, businesses sometimes that bring events into Conway. So in years past, well, many years past, we've gone through them and discussed them each individually. I have given notes, just summarizing what the information that they provide us with. And if you all, I guess, have questions about any of them or want to make changes to what I recommended, please do so. You are the ones that get to make that final call. So at one point, we used to go through all of them individually. At other times, we've just kind of gone down the row and you've called out anything that you might have taken issue with as you reviewed them. So I'm open to handling it however you all prefer.
Let's just do it that way,
Okay.
because we've all had time to go through the packets.
Or why don't we just, if there's any that sticks out, rather
Yeah.
than going through
Each
the
one?
whole, yes. And for those of you that have not been on the commission within the past, 5 years, Andy? I just want to commend Rachel because I can remember the day that we got these packets. It took us probably a week to go through, look at every individual one. And our life is so easier with what we've got here. So,
It's been longer than that, Sheila. How long have you done it?
Uh,
Kind of where you've laid this out. It's 8 or 9 years.
Well, I've been in this role for 14 years, and so I have refined it and learned as I went along. But in this format, it's probably been this way for 10 years.
yeah, yes.
And
I know.
Thank you so much.
My only
Yes.
request though is, I'm blind as a bat, so I had to break out a magnifying glass.
I don't have bigger
And I have
paper.
it in Excel format too, so I can just zoom in.
If I had bigger paper, I could make you a poster next year. I'll do it for you,
I did have to
Melissa.
break out the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, like a
She
big
could
check
send it in
size.
Excel format.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how.
I was
get
just
it.
gonna say, for me, looking over it, there were only a few that I had questions on, and you, or actually, you've already answered that. So I don't know if anybody else has anything that gives them heartburn or heartache in regards to the recommendations that were given based upon what was requested.
One thing I did want to point out was the Conway Regional Health Foundation Arkansas Duck Derby. So last year, you agreed to give them money during 2024
Right, because of the
calendar
timing
year.
of
Yes,
the event.
because of their
Yes.
January event. So they've already been awarded money for their event in 2026 that will take
Right.
place in a couple of months. So the number on here is for their 27 event, and that's really just for us to keep in mind as a placeholder.
As we get ready, yes.
Yeah. So I tried to note that with a very
Mhm.
slight color change.
Yep.
Well, I went through each one of them over the weekend and you did a really good
Mhm.
job with notes.
Well,
and
thank you.
Whatnot.
And I tried to note where there are some that we have funded in the past, but then they didn't turn in an application yet. And some of them, like the Arkansas Association for the Deaf, for example, I know we just spoke to them
Mhm.
and had talked to them about getting their application in. So I don't know if they're not planning to have another conference next year or if it's a
Yeah.
every other year thing, but just I like to note those things in case sometimes they come back through the middle of the year and then we can handle it.
We did, if I'm remembering, presentation, we mentioned to them about the date to
Yes,
get
you
that
did.
in, so they were well aware.
So the last year, there was $175,000 budgeted for funding requests. And based on what I recommended, that amount came to $173,400. But if you look at the budget that I sent you, there is plenty of money in reserves. Should more people come in and request funding, you definitely have the availability to accommodate that.
Accommodate that.
And also, every year, it doesn't matter how much we agree to give out, there's going to be someone that doesn't request their funding, doesn't spend all their funding. So that's just their loss.
Part of it. Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody has any heartburns. I would just make a motion that we approve the requested funding that was recommended.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
All in favor?
I,
I'll make that easy.
you make it easy.
Make it very
Okay,
easy.
and the second spreadsheet is for events that we deem to be appropriately funded through our event incentive fund. And this is, as you'll recall, just intended for large sporting events, or if there was a large conference that came in, or I know in years past, we've had the opportunity to host a large NICA event that came up kind of midway through the year that we hadn't necessarily planned for, and they don't need advertising money necessarily, but they could use money for other random things to put on their event. And then there are some other times that we want to bid on an event that is a national event that moves around, and that's also where this would come from. So this budget, not changing for the last several years, is set at $125,000. So far, I had recommended $56,100 based on the applications that we've gotten to this point. We will get more throughout the year. That's just the way this functions. But if you have questions, concerns, well, let me know.
Make a motion for approval of the event incentive.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right. Well, thank you. Okay. The budget I will talk about first.
Back here. Those were the ones you handed out at the start of the meeting, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
So I sent them to you last week so you could review them again, ask any questions, make any comments. Typically, I don't like to be the one talking about the chamber contract specifically because, well, I'm not, that's Brad's job. That's
Right.
not my place to kind of get in the weeds on that. And like I said, Jamie was going to be here. He had to go pick his kids up last minute. So we can talk about the budget first and just kind of ignore the chamber contract portion of it, if you will, for the time being. And we'll come back to that if we need to. And I tried to change my recommendations based on actual expenses. I know in the past, there were some things like the online calendar, the Meltwater, which is media monitoring, and the Air DNA and CoStar, which are short-term rental and hotel data. Those in the past, I've tried to pay for through my advertising budget. They're not really advertising things, but they are things that are important for the commission to have access to. So without having to change the line item of the budget very much, I was able to fit them in to the overall budget. So that's really the biggest change from last year to this year, was moving those things into your budget and out of the advertising dollars. Good timing.
I'll say, he has returned.
Are we talking about you? Any questions other than that chamber portion? And I tried to leave some notes out at the side to just answer any questions you might have had when you were looking over it. I'll also note, the last several years, we've had a line item for special projects committed. We don't have any large projects that are currently committed. As we know, those things come up mid-year sometimes, and there is, if you'll see at the bottom, a line item of cash available for additional funding requests and special projects that if something were to come up, that is where that would come from. Any questions, thoughts, concerns?
Guess we'll hear from Mr. Gates.
Okay. I'll let him talk and then y'all can.
Yeah, so we have the contract in front of you. No changes to the deliverables. We did have, I do want to call out a couple things and just, I think just to kind of remind everyone, one reason I think the city does really well, while we have a great model, while, Rachel does a great job in her role, and, I'm trying to be present and support all these things. The agreement is between the A&P Commission and the Chamber, and there are great benefits to that with regard to sustainability, succession, interruptions. Anytime your operations are really tied to an individual or an employee, things get much more complicated. And when you cross the threshold of, now we're going to have an employee and we're going to have real estate and inventory and capital, your operations get much more complicated. So I do think by operating under this agreement for as long as we have, we've allowed the commission to be pretty streamlined. You're not having to do a lot of the inventory stuff. You're not having to do a lot of HR and all of those things. And what we had, one example, is we're able to scale up. We've added new positions on our staff. You did see Jack Pillow come in, provide kind of some technical assistance and expertise on some of the online platforms. We're going to keep making good use of him. That's kind of, data's his love language. He does a good job powering all of our organizations, including this one. We've added a general counsel with Jennifer Kendrick, and I think one good example is she's helped us, articulate some things more clearly, not just these agreements, but she's also in-house and she's available to Rachel when she gets an agreement from somebody. We've got an attorney in-house to review all of those. She did provide kind of some further articulation on that scope of services provided by the chamber, just reminding each other and everyone else that, IT support, which is more and more complicated and expensive every year, is covered with this, all of the office machinery and all of those things. It's not just renting space. It's all of the everything it takes to run a modern office is included within this contract, and she did a great job spelling that out. So I just want to call out those folks as you're really your contract is with a team, not just with a pretty face and Rachel. So the changes to the real terms of the contract, we previously operated, we did a 2-year agreement. We went back and forth on renewing a 2-year. If you'll remember, we operated without a signed agreement for a period of time a few years ago. Obviously not a best practice, so we want to be on top of that. We went ahead and negotiated a 2-year agreement at that point. That's what we're renewing here. What we're now recommending is let's do a 1-year agreement. I think we will remember to get this done and signed next year. I do think there's a lot going on in Conway with regard to the visitor economy, and y'all may have some ideas and input on what the scope of work and where you want us focusing our time next year. And so let's tie ourselves to 1-year program. We have a pretty good idea what's in front of us for 2026, but a lot could change in 2027. We may be in some new industries and have some new opportunities. The change so that is one change is we're proposing a 1-year agreement. The other is the rate here. We talked about a 3% inflation, just kind of running with that, where we stayed at one rate for several years, and then we're in the position of needing to make a big jump. This rate actually is the 3% over 2 years, but it's a 1-year agreement. If you wanted it to be 3%, that number would be 223,803 instead of 225,703. That might be the simplest change to make, or we do the 225,703 in the contract, and then we just remember that when we do it next year that we'd already done the 2-year 3%. I would just kind of put that in y'all's lap to decide. Other than that, all of the terms and controls are the same, all the boundaries. This is something that was agreed to in concept and application by the city attorney in previous years, and so we're going to do business in the same ways.
Okay, Jamie, excuse me, but I wrote down the 223,803 as an alternative. Can you go back over your explanation on that?
I think in the first draft of this, the number that's in here, the 225,703, was when this was a 2-year agreement. And so what does 3% look like over 2 years? And just in communicating back and forth with Brad and Laura, I think when we backed it out to a year, we didn't back out that number.
Okay,
And so,
okay, thank you.
Correct number would be what?
223,803.
Since we're looking at 1 year.
Yeah.
Andy, do you remember if this is something we typically ran by the city attorney? I'm trying to think in years past.
Up if he was
I
here.
think the answer to the question is Yes,
Yes.
we have.
Okay,
Probably wanted.
okay.
Yeah, and this will be but it is the identical format and structure
Okay.
of the one that we had
That we had.
worked with him
I don't
on
see anything-
jointly
I don't see anything
previously.
that jumps out that's.
Yeah.
a big
Same thing I
difference.
was thinking. I just wanted to make sure we had followed our correct protocol, so.
I will add,
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, when we did the 2-year contract, he was involved in
Okay.
the terms of it, and it hasn't changed,
Changed
other
since
than just
then.
adding that language about some,
Okay.
rising costs, whatever.
I will, just for the sake of facilitating, make a motion with the approval or review of the city attorney to move forward into this agreement, for 1 year with the rate of the 223,803.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays?
Budget approved.
And I will show this to him tomorrow. No, tomorrow we have city council meeting.
Well, I thought you were talking about you're gonna take it to court.
No, that's Thursday.
Take it to him, show him twice.
Yeah, and I mean, and we'll need a signed agreement, and if he
Yeah.
has, if he says, proceed, this is the same document I reviewed before, then, he could instruct, Mike to sign or permit him to, advise him to sign. And, if he has any other questions, we've still got another month to bring it up, so. Perfect, thank y'all.
I think we can get it facilitated.
So then we can maybe do a motion to approve the budget should the contract be approved.
Yes, making that change,
Making that
Making
change.
that
which I've noted
Yes.
on my copy, so.
Yes.
Were there other questions other than that line item?
I didn't have any.
Okay. Great. Okay, I don't have anything else.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'll need someone to make a motion to approve budget.
Budget, I'll make that motion, with the, I guess with the exception, or however we want to note it, of the change with the contract with the chamber.
All approved?
Everybody in favor of?
Everyone in favor?
Yeah.
Yes, aye.
All right, any nays? All right, do we have any old business left?
None that I'm aware of.
Well, our online payment processor, I've tried to get in touch with them. I've tried to call around and figure out who other cities are with. So I'm trying to get a good group for y'all to pick from. And hopefully they'll come and present to y'all and y'all can ask them any questions.
Well,
Options are we looking at right now? Other option besides?
Gov OS is the only one that's approached me about it.
A processing fee.
I'm
Charge a
not,
processing fee. I've
yeah,
never
yes,
paid
and
online, so I
PaySimple
don't know
does
if there's
too, but
And the person paying,
ever paid online?
I don't, my accountant.
Oh, I was about to say, was it?
I mean, they might write a check, I don't know.
Okay.
That's who
Uh,
mentioned, and
Yeah.
Denise had mentioned that.
Yeah.
Already
So when
working
they
with
go
them
on the
something.
system to make their payment, is there a fee associated with it to pay with the credit card or?
Yes, on the income statement, there is, let's see what it's under. Merchant bank card fees and PaySimple processing fees.
Oh, the. Having to pay with the credit.
Or does the,
I think
Merchant
they
bank
pay.
card is credit cards and, pay simple processing is a set fee every month, but then plus an extra fee for the bank drafts and the debit cards. So like this month, merchant bank cards was $772.57, and pay simple processing was $1,071.92. But I think for the services and what all, at least I know GovOS can do, which I'm pretty sure there are several more that, because pay simple is very difficult, very difficult.
I was gonna say, I think we had talked about at our last
Oh,
meeting,
that other,
Tyler, and
Yeah,
that's somebody
I brought up
that the
Tyler
city
Technologies
uses.
and
Yeah,
they mentioned that they're already working with them on
Right.
something. If we could get, do you have a, like a point of contact with them? Yeah,
We could,
that's
that
what I
as
was
well.
gonna say.
I mean,
Yeah,
we had talked about too, being able to hurry up and do this to where we can
Right.
start the new year.
mm-hmm,
Is there a way that maybe you could so we don't have to wait another month?
mm-hmm.
Maybe you could email us all the documents and then they can present at the next meeting so that we can close
Yeah,
out by
I
the
just
end of
need to-
year?
I'll see what
Yeah.
I can do if I can get a contact for somebody with Tyler Technologies
yeah.
at the December 8th meeting.
just let me know and I'll,
Okay.
I guess, what were you getting at, maybe what, I'm assuming is passing that fee on to the people paying?
no, I was just wondering how it works
How
now.
it worked.
So if
Yeah.
somebody goes.
how it works now,
Yeah.
the commission absorbs the fees.
Yeah, so that is an
So I
option
can
at
pay
some
with, they could
point.
pay with the credit card and there's no fee for them paying with. the
Right.
card.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, this all went into play when Chuck was still city attorney, so me and him worked for like a year
well,
on
and to
this.
be honest, I mean, everybody's getting feed to death everywhere
Right.
now. No
Mhm.
matter what you pay for, you're paying for that fee.
Mm-hmm.
So this might help encourage people to pay more
Right.
online for us to get our money
Right.
quicker.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think that's something we take into consideration. Charge the commission to process those.
I would think at least as far as GovOS goes, y'all
I
would
agree, it's a good point.
definitely, I mean, GovOS can definitely do so much more than Pay Simple can.
Well, and hopefully, because that's who's already handling a lot of the city's business, we might be able to get, yeah.
Oh, Tyler.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, do we have any other old business? Okay, motion to adjourn?
So move. Second.
Everybody come to court if you can, it's very important. They don't take